Jumped on a train, Qyeen at the station at King's Cross, which, by the way, is looking good, right? So I come at the front door, and a young gentleman approaches me, and he says to me, "Duh, excuse me, miss, do you know what time it is?" And I'm like, right, it's about 6:30, and I'm pleased because it means I will be able to get to where I'm staying quickly enough to get my tea before my next show, okay? So I tell him the time, and for some reason, he finds this completely unbelievable. He lets out a roar as if he is the king of the jungle, currently marking newfound territory. And he's like, "Whoa! You got accent, you know!" Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at him thinking, you look just like me. And you also have an accent, but we'll talk about that later, you know? So he's like, "Where you from, man? Like, where you from? Where you from? Where you from? Where you wickle from?" And I'm like, I'm not sure if he knows he's repeated himself multiple times, but I decide to dignify him with an answer. And I say to him, "I am from the beautiful city of Edinburgh, in the fantastic and most amazing place of Scotland." I don't know why, but he seems to find this completely hilarious. He starts bawling with laughter like a damn hyena. Note to my English brethren, it is not cool or funny to laugh at the only African Scottish person in the room, okay? It is actually quite rude. It will only result in you being head-butted or Jackie Chan drop-kicked into oblivion.
Here, too many rappers, not enough beats, and there's too many gangsters, not enough streets, and there's too many dealers, not enough. And there's too many ghettos, and far too many folks, so there's too many, not enough ropes, and there's too much getting shipped on my block, so there's too many gloves, not enough clips, and there's too many haters not playing. My style is too sick to be tagging all and happy working your bill. I'm a top like forward and bound bills that get all sour. The lower class get up no power without glower. As we approach the final hour for this hate war, it's getting hard to walk the streets. So is your crew? You can't walk them back the so confused. It's like my people are desperate to lose. This is the blues. This is a hip hop point of view. When on the top, rap, rap. Like condensing for my back and waters walk. Resurrect channel, this will pay a debt. Walk and write a check to the juice whose radio's dead. I'm talking like pain in the head. We in the east. See block the belly of the beast, so many to cease. Why would the streets be peace? And there's too many rappers, not enough beats. And there's too many gangsters, not enough streets. And there's too many dealers, not enough. And there's too many ghettos and far too many. Too many ghettos and far too many.
Make some noise! Right, and he's like, right, wait right there, wait right there, wait right there, just wait there, wait there, wait there. Right, just wait there. Calls to his friend, which we will call the brethren. Your blood, 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 blood! Come check this thing, come check this thing, come check this thing! Now, I would imagine that I am the thing that he is referring to. So another gentleman approaches, we call the brethren. He comes into the conversation, quite a tall chap with strawberry blonde hair. I like to use the term strawberry blonde as opposed to ginger. And he has the dreaded lock down to the buttock, okay? So he joins the conversation. So I've got the two of them there, you know? And I have to say, believe it or not, this whole thing about me being an Afro-Scot, there's issues with this sometimes in Britain. I'm not gonna lie, alright? Now, I myself have the afro, as you can see, although it is wrapped in the bun. And occasionally it is actually sunny in the United Kingdom. And on those days when it is sunny, I like to let my afro free, okay? I do have to say that this can unfortunately lead to a queue of British people being lined up next to me trying to stroke my head. Okay, British people? It is not funny to stroke black people's heads, yes! Okay? It's not funny at all. It actually, you know, stroking their damn heads in the street, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not funny. It makes us feel like we're some kind of endangered species in the damn zoo, okay?
Shed Psychic, Revelations, local Scottish talent, MCs.
Now on this topic of hair, a lovely gentleman that I met called the Christopher Rock, or also known as Chris Rock, he did a fantastic programme currently on the BBC at the moment called Hair. And inside his programme he exposes the many ways that us women use to make our hair straight, right? So he talks about all the extensions, all the wigs, all the weaves, he talks about all that, alright? He exposes the truth. He also goes on to talk about in great detail about a chemical known as relaxer. Now relaxer is a product which women use, largely black women, but women use to make their hair as straight as possible. The problem with relaxer is it actually can kill you and can actually give you third-degree burns. Therefore, I refer to it as the green crack. Right, now in this programme he identifies not one, but two uses for the relaxer. The first use, obviously, to straighten the hair. The second use was because he believed it made American white people feel more relaxed. He said it, not me. I said nothing of the sort. But anyway, I'm standing at King's Cross Station. I've got the original dude and his brethren, right? We're there, they're chatting to me, and all of a sudden this lovely girl, beautiful girl, around about 5'4", you know, gorgeous, she comes bounding into the conversation. I don't know, she kind of had that walk like she was like a supermodel and some kind of popper. She was like, she comes in and she's got a cigarette in her hand. So I'm thinking to myself, alright, she's wanting a light, fine, she needs a light for her cigarette, that's fine. But no, she does not ask for a light and she says, oh, wow! You're accent is so interesting. Where are you from? Now, I'm looking at her, and she's wearing the mulberry and the lubes, that's the Louboutin shoes, for those of you out there thinking other things. She's wearing the mulberry and the lube, and I'm thinking this is going to be a wee bit nippy, right? But, you know, I toyed with telling her that I was in fact some kind of undercover CIA tactician, currently based in southwest London, plotting to take over the entire country. But, you know, that would have been probably a lie, although I was staying in the southwest of London, in the borough of Chelsea and Kensington.
Like this, like that, like civil rights never despite, all the disguise, true like the prize, true like the wise guy, we stick a light on a night like this. Change this way and change today and change this way and change today and change this way and change today and change today.
Lovely place, a very lovely place, with many similarities to Edinburgh City, in fact, you know. For example, you know, it's lovely and it's largely quite well looked after and clean and comfortable. The only difference is that the residents of Chelsea and Kensington have to pay several millions, sometimes billions, to stay there. Whereas us in Edinburgh, we can stay in these fine streets for £43.25 on the door. You know, there is a lot of similarities, you know. In Chelsea, there's a lot of those people that kind of muddle around and trousers that don't quite fit properly and get in your way when you try to get down the road, you know, definitely putting the R in reserve, right? I used to walk down a street called the King's Road, and if you've not been to Chelsea, the King's Road it's basically like, it's like George Street in Edinburgh, but people actually live on it, right? And you know, it's very nice, it's very safe, you know. I have to admit, on a Friday night when I'm walking home at about 3, 4 in the morning, you know, the scariest thing you'll probably see is me, you know. There are no afros in that postcode at all, right? Lovely place, you know. I did discover a place called the World's End, which is literally what I would imagine the end of the world to look like. Congratulations to those guys for keeping it so undercover from people such as myself. But yeah, so I look at the wifey. Now, I will just call her Lassie. That's not meant to be offensive at all. It doesn't mean just because she did look a bit like a golden retriever. I'm not saying anything about that. It is a real word that us Scottish people call ladies. So I've got this Lassie, and I say to her, I am from Edinburgh, okay? I'm from the Edinburgh City. And I'm expecting her, you know, to say something quite nice about Edinburgh, you know, and no, she does not say anything nice at all. She just looks at me like, I know, her face is like kind of contorting, because I think she was thinking, am I American or am I French? I don't know, but she was just like tripping out. And I'm like, I'm from Edinburgh. And she's just like, so I decided to put her, I find this actually quite insulting. Right, and I do what I always do, which is I retort to people in a language, or in this case an accent, that they can actually understand. So I say to her, what's the problem, darling? Is there something that I can help you with? You know, would you prefer that I spoke to you in your own accent? Does that make you feel more comfortable? Now, for a split second I thought maybe I shouldn't have spoken to her like that, okay? It might have been taken as offensive, right? But no. It's obviously not been offensive at all, because she replies to me, oh, wow! Darling, if you can speak like that, then why don't you just speak like that all of the time? I'm not trying to be funny here, do you know what I mean? Are you suggesting that I should pretend that I am English because you think it makes me look more attractive? I get it, you know. Nasal, anal is in, glottal is out, okay? Now, I'm here, and I feel like I've been directly challenged by these people. So I say to them, I am an African and a Scottish person. Therefore, I call myself an Afro-Scot. No, I did not say a smuggled report, gentleman in the front. I said I am an Afro-Scot, okay? Do you want more? 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 Come on, come on, come in. Come on, come on, come in. And I feel like I have to explain to these people about how fantastic Scotland actually is. And it's a brilliant place. I remember growing up here, you know, and it's just amazing. Like, there's so many places you can go to. You can climb Arthur's Seat, you can, you know, go strawberry picking and tatty picking, and, you know, you can climb trees until you're at least 28. You know, and it's brilliant. It was a brilliant place to grow up, and I really, really value it. I do indeed, you know. I used to enjoy coming back to the school, heading up into the forest or down into the dusties and making a wee kind of place for us to hang out. Only issue was occasionally we'd come back there and there'd be this kind of like river of syringes like outside the front of your brilliantly built gang up. And you'd just be like, Mummy, what is it? Do you know what I mean? Right? But no, it was brilliant. I loved going to school here. Primary school was fantastic. I went to a lovely school, which resembled, for those of you who may not have went to school here, there's a school up on the Lauriston. It's called George Heriot's, okay? That looked like my primary school, okay? It was amazing. I don't know how many thousands and thousands and thousands of years old it was, right? But it was awesome. Only problem with my primary school was you would feel like you were kind of being held hostage, you know, in some kind of never-ending episode of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone that somehow turned into a horror, okay? So it was a kind of trippy experience, you know? My favourite thing about the primary school had to be lunchtime. And I would love going out with my friends, we'd love it, and our favourite game was WWE. Now, have you all heard of WWE?
No.
Obviously not. Have you heard of the WWF?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the World Federation Championship of the World Wrestling, okay? It's got like Ultimate Warrior and all that in it, right? We loved the WWF. And we would get proper into it. I mean, we would get so carried away, it was completely and utterly ridiculous. We'd be spinning around and around and around and around. And in a particular fashion, sort of like this. So yeah, something like that is what we used to do. The only problem with this was you'd end up spewing your load on one-page shoes and I suppose you'd rob Norris McCall's up the road. So, a wee bit nippy, right? And sometimes the game might go sour. When the game went sour, it meant that it would turn into the circle of death.
Today, you always too fresh, you know we're in a row. Too fresh, the style is unknown. Too fast, you know you're in the zone. You know we're in the zone. You know we're in the zone. What's on your mind? We're doing it right.
Yo, there's a big inquiry with who's calling. Oh, you're on. Because I get it back to the missing call. No.
Circle of death. It was very dangerous for the two unlucky mites who were held there, because everybody else would circle around them and expect them to do battle to the death, or until like the prefect came and like broke us all up, right? But everyone else would surround them and they'd be like, DDT, 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 which is like some kind of like death tombstone thing. So, you know, quite a dangerous activity. I myself was once found at the centre of the circle of death, you know, and I was able to get out of it basically by basically I used a stock of MTV and Wu-Tang Clan music videos and I just went Shaolin on them. And if that didn't work, I resorted to reciting incantations from J.K. Rowling books. Now, have you guys Have you guys heard of J.K. Rowling? I would imagine so, right? Now, when I'm on the train, going to the big smoke at that point in time, I met this lovely couple, and they were like, what do you do, what do you do, what do you do? And I was like, you know, I work in the performing arts and stuff. And they were like, oh, that's quite an unstable industry to be in. And I was like, yeah, I know. So they suggested that I got further qualifications on top of my further qualifications, you know. And the reason that they decided I needed further qualifications on top of my further qualifications was that had J.K. Rowling not been successful in obtaining a publishing deal, she would basically just have been a 40-something-year-old benefit-scrounging single mother who hung out in local cafes waiting for handouts, okay? Not a good look, and not a good look at all, you know? So, I'm here with these people, right? And I'm telling them about it, and I'm telling them, yeah, it was brilliant, I went to school, and, you know, I loved the high school. I was lucky enough that my mum would let me take the bus to school. And I went to school in the fine area of Balerno. If you don't know where Balerno is, or what the school's like there, it's not quite as posh as Fettes, right? That's where, like, Tony Blair and all the other kind of prime ministers went to school, which is actually in Edinburgh, believe it or not. So not quite as posh as Fettes, but not quite as ghetto as Wester Hailes Education Centre, right? But I'm not slagging Wester Hailes Education Centre because I grew up in that area. Okay? I'm just being real, right? So, I would take the bus, and I'm not going to lie, you know, it was brilliant going to school up there, although I would never invite any of my friends from school home. That is because, you know, they all lived in these like massive mansions with like indoor pools, and luxury this, luxury that, like gardens that went on for miles, right? And in their gardens, they had blimmin' horses, right? Actual, physical, real horses, right? In their bloody gardens of their own houses. Now, I don't know what's going on. There seems to be some kind of conspiracy against, you know, the average working class proletarian. But the only time I get to see horses is on a Friday night when I'm out on a tune that's dancing in Glasgow, and that's when they're trampling my buckfast swilling mates in George Square.
Ready for transition, make condition and change position and change position. That's a foundation, negotiation, anticipation, 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 anticipation.
This was the best thing in the world because I was with all my mates. We're like, yeah, back of the bus, yeah. We thought it was amazing, right? I don't know why. But I'd get the 32 bus from Wester Hailes Road up to the Gillespie Crossroads where I would join the 44 bus. Now, what I never told my mum was that that was the same route frequented by the local gang stars, okay? And I call them gang stars because they were like really scary. Instead of calling them gangsters, I'm like emphasising the gang star aspect, okay? And they would, for some reason, want to give us little children lifts home, okay? I'm sure all of the children made it home. I know I made it home, right? And they would roll up on you as if they were doing some kind of drive-by or part of some kind of rampant paedophile ring. I don't know what was going on. All I knew is that I was scared, absolutely witless, right? I couldn't run, couldn't think, couldn't talk, I was just frozen. Right? And they'd come, they'd bundle you in the car, do you know what I mean? And you know what I mean, you'd think you'd be going home, but you'd end up on some kind of diversion, usually to the outskirts of the city centre. We'd end up at some chap called Tam Payton's house.
Yeah!
We're undisclosed packages.
Terrible.
We'd be left, right? You know. And if you don't know who Tam Payton is, he is the ex-manager of the Bay City Roller. So, I remember the first week of school, right? This was really, really brilliant for me. It was brilliant for me because I had done trials for Salveston. Now, Salveston happens to be the amateur pro football team that if you want to play football professionally, that you need to play for a school, a team like that if you want to play professional football, right? And, you know, I was brilliant at football. You know, it was well known. I would take a man on my right, I would drop a style side kick him, and I could nutmeg him any time, day of the week, right? My hat tricks and my celebrations were famous from the city centre of Edinburgh to the outskirts of Edinburgh.
Superior skills, organized like a riot. It's not what we will, but we will, we will, but we will, but we will, but we will. Like a social
Absolutely brilliant at football, you know? And I remember the first day of high school, my registration teacher happened to be my PE teacher, Mrs. Gnasic, and she took me to the side and she said, I've got to tell you something, and that is that you were actually top of the class for your trials for Salveston. And I was like, yeah. But she then crushed my soul into the ground and mashed it in, right? Her next sentence was, you will not be able to play for Salveston because you are a girl. Now, I have to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. At that fragile age, you know, I did that thing that children do that actually infects your brain, like when they start crying and they're like hyperventilating, and it's like, I was just like, I was like one of them ones, right? It was serious stuff, you know. But at that age, you know, I didn't know that in a few short years' time, I would actually have been old enough to actually go and fight and die for my country. You know, I could have been old enough to do that. And when I was doing that, I'd have to qualify, go through, you know, physical bloody exercises, right? And prove that I was really strong. I would be expected to drag a man, potentially quadruple the size of my body weight, right? Through a burning jungle, with bloody drones, machine guns, all kind of bombs, and like shitty things, I don't even know, right? Serious stuff happening, right? While that man was injured, drag his ass through the jungle with no help, no support, and no cleaning products whatsoever, right? After potentially being ravaged by the opposition. So I cannot understand why it is that I was not allowed to play football on the same junior team as my mates who were at the boys, okay? That was an issue I had. So I was devastated, right? My teachers tried to console me and so on. She said, okay, let's go to the assembly, right? Now in Edinburgh we have assembly at school, and assembly is basically the gathering of everybody in the school, all the children, all the teachers, you know, the janitor came, the janitor's dog came, dog came, everyone came to the assembly, alright? So I went to the assembly. Not gonna lie, I was feeling rather mortal, like still very disturbed, you know, kind of shaking a bit. But I went to assembly, and you know, we sung a variety of songs, such as Kumbaya, my Lord. No disrespect, I actually respect the creative members in there, right? But we'd sing these songs, and you know, I'm not gonna lie, like I wasn't feeling like that much better, but I was feeling just a wee tiny bit better. Like there was a wee bit better, right? I was getting there. I could like stop shaking and that, it was not too bad. But I don't know if any of you guys have ever noticed that bad luck seems to come in multiples. Well, bad luck for me on the first day of school struck again. My headmistress, Mrs. Catherine, decided to get onto stage, and she said the following. Children, I have something to tell you, and this is very, 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 very important. I want you to be very aware and very wary. If you don't do what I tell you to do, you will get into serious trouble, right? Now what I want you to do is I want you to be careful around the beams. Now I suppose you guys are wondering, as I was at that fragile time on my first day of school, what a bemis was, okay? A bemis is a black and ethnic minority in Scotland, okay? The problem with being and her announcing that I was a penis is that I had no idea that I was black, okay? I had no idea I was black. My friends didn't care I was black. My friends' friends didn't care I was black. The teachers never knew I was black. The janitor did not know I was black. The janitor's dog did not know I was black, okay? And I think it's completely wrong for the headmaster of my school to announce to the entire school that I am black when I didn't even know I was black, okay? I think it's wrong, I think it's rude, you know. Totally and utterly wrong, you know?
Issues, what's your status? Look the haters, look the haters. What's your patience? Take your patience, 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 take your patience. Come on, come on, come in. Come on, come on, come in.
You know, in this issue, you know, things have changed, you know, but sometimes I have, you know, similar issues. For example, I was invited to the Edinburgh International Film Festival recently, and the wifey calls me up to the press lady and she's like, oh, I want you to come do the red carpet. And I was like, oh my days, I'm going to have to wear a dress, I don't know how to wear dresses, and you know, I've got quite long legs, so if I go in a dress, I like to wear tights, right? I think it's lovely and it's appropriate and old lady-like, right? I need to wear my tights, right? Legs are way too long to not be wearing tights, okay? So I go to the Marks and Sparks. That's Marks and Spencer's for those of you that are under 25, okay? I go to the Marks and Sparks. And I go in and I didn't care if any of you have noticed, but there always seems to be some OTT, chirpy sales assistant that wants to help you when you didn't actually want any of her help whatsoever. And she's just like, hello, how are you? Can I help you? I'm like, mate, for doing my actual nutting. Do you know what? Do you know what, right? If you want, take me wherever you want to go, just didn't talk, right? Just didn't talk, didn't say anything at all, right? So she takes me to the hosiery section, and you know, I've told her I want the skin colour tights, not me. So we go to the hosiery section. She takes out a pair of tights, and she gives them to me. And I'm like, nice. So I look at the tights, I look at her. I look at the tights, I look at her. I look at the tights again, I look at her. She's not getting it. I show her the tights, she looks at the tights, she looks at me. She looks at the tights, she looks at me. Then all of a sudden, her face goes bright red. I mean bright red, right? And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, no, that is not my skin tone, yeah. I mean, that might be a general skin tone for most people, but that is not my skin tone, okay? And I'm thinking she's just going to keep apologising, and that's going to be the end of it. But no, it's not the end of it. She continues to say, we do get your colour, but only in the autumn. I'm not trying to be funny, ladies and gentlemen, but what the heck are a seasonal tone everything's supposed to do? Marks and Spencers can't even help us, you know? It's diabolical. Diabolical, these things that we call it, you know?
Ready for you, my particular time, the miracle, lovely. It's genius.
Queen's Cross Station in the crowd is actually, believe it or not, growing. Okay? The original dude that started this whole thing off decides to ask me, so, like, why do Scottish people hate the English people? I'm like, mate, to be honest, right, as far as I can, I didn't actually think that Scottish people hate the English people. I could be wrong, right? I don't know if that is the case at all. I don't know if English people hate Scottish people, and if English people do hate Scottish people, I can't, for the life of me, understand why. Okay, Scotland's fantastic, they've been the riders since they've been colonised by them, right? You know, they were there after all that kind of PIWS that went on, okay? Right, they were there. You know, it's the site of the Industrial Revolution, one of the oldest places in the New World, you know, literally a fifth wonder of this planet, right? That's how ancient it is, you know? And we've invented everything, from the skyscraper to actual proper dancing. There's a thought. Perhaps the reason why the English might hate the Scottish is because our men might be hung more low and therefore able to dance a jig better. I've got no idea what the issue is at all, you know? But the first lassie, she pipes up. She's obviously feeling much more comfortable now after hearing the tales of my childhood. And she gets involved and she says, so, what were your views on the referendum? Like, what did you vote for? Note to my British Anglo-Saxon friends. There is a reason why voting is private, okay? If you ask the only African Scottish person in the entire pool, right, what they voted for in the referendum, it defeats the whole purpose of making it private. It could also lead to me being strung up in front of everybody on the London Bridge. I've got no idea why she asked me this, right? I don't care what was wrong with her at all, right? You know, besides I know nothing about politics whatsoever. All I know about politics is they've got the Tories, the Liberal Democrats, and I can't remember the other one, Labour, right? They've got these main parties, right? And it seems like all of them have combined into one super party, which cannot understand what anyone is saying outside of London, even though they're not even all from London, okay? And I can't understand this, but I have thought of ways that we can solve this problem, and we can also save a lot of money for the entire nation. The first one would be to stop teaching French and German in our schools, and instead we would teach Liverpudlian, Cocknerian, Swansonerian and Glaswegian. I feel this would be much more effective use of the budget. It may also mean that we would not have to put subtitles on party political podcasts that are actually in the United Kingdom, you know. Why that is I will never personally understand, okay? But I love my Africanness, and I love my Britishness. I prefer to say, well, I should say my Scottishness. And, you know, the only thing I don't like about my Africanness is that until you're at least 50 or 60 years old, your ma can actually call you up. You could be literally in labour. She'll still call you up and expect you to go to the shop for her, okay? At that point in time, I need to switch from my African self to my British self, where I can basically get out of doing quite a lot of stuff from 16, right? You know. Some fun and some happiness and some fun. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, now I feel the happiness. When my mum grew up in Africa, they did not keep age, believe it or not, which made it very difficult to extort for presents and gifts on your birthday. So we'll get rid of that as well, right? You know, but you know, what I don't like is this constant berating of Africa as the most corrupt place on the planet. Oh, it's corrupt. Africa's corrupt. It's corrupt. It's corrupt. Ladies and gentlemen, we have never had any Stalins or Hitlers in our history. We did have that guy in the camp. We want to talk about that just now, okay? We never exterminated 5 million Tibetan monks, like some governments did, okay? Actual monks that look after grass and bloody ants and stuff. Are you going to tell people that look after ants, stroke their heads, look after them? I don't know. I've got no idea whatsoever. And I have proof that we are actually incapable of proper corruption. And how we can study this is if you go, rent yourself out as many DVDs, preferably movies that are supposed to be serious or dramatic, right? rent out as many Nigerian DVDs as you can that are dramas. And if you actually for a second find any of the actors convincing, or actually you believe what they're saying, I shall eat this like crippled. Because you know what? African people cannot lie. They cannot lie for shiznick at all. Okay? You know, and you know, there is a lot going on here on that particular topic. When I'm getting the train and I'm not being bombarded with questions from random strangers, right? I love travelling down the coast. You've got all the different amazing areas and scenic routes. If you go the west coast, the east coast, you can see the Pennines, Lake District, Peak District. And, you know, I like doing it. And I like studying history too. And science. And what I found while I've been studying science is, you know, a lot of really credible scientists from Europe, you know, in the West, have made it very clear that we're all, in fact, from Africa. Okay? This is an established scientific fact. Okay? It's not like bloody Darwin who called me a monkey, right?
Exactly.
It's an actual fact, okay? We're all from Africa, right? So I cannot understand, for the life of me, what is going on. And I have to pull up my brothers and sisters of the Western countries. And I have to say to them, it's quite funny how this kind of selective, collective amnesia only actually happens when people want their actual shiznick back that you've nicked. Alright? Do you know what I'm saying? I am just the messenger, right? But they want it back. The Asian ones want it back too. No, those big stones in the Queen's crown, they're wanting it back. There are no rubies, diamonds, emeralds, gold, or any of that stuff. None of that stuff came from here. It got nicked. Yes. There's nicked it. Yes. Right? It's true. You know. And we'll let you off, but it's not right. Okay? It was nicked at a time that it was just not a fair game. But I've worked everything out, okay? And I realised that, you know, there's some confusing and conflicting stories going on about what actually happened pre-capitalism. Of explaining the process of what happened before colonialism, which is a bit deep, right? But basically what happened is, the African man, the lighter-skinned African man, travelled from Africa to a place in the New World which he dubbed Europe. He landed in Europa, he decided it was absolute cack, right? He then moved from Europa to another part of the New World, which he decided was also actual cack. He then travelled to another part of the New World, which again, he thought was absolute cack. But, while in his travels, he came into the Dark Ages. And during the Dark Ages, he got completely mashed at his heat on magic mushrooms, LSD, and some kind of crazy drugs that make pagan tan sells up medals. I didn't care what they are, they just got wasted on them, right? So they get wasted on these crazy drugs, right? And then board the vessel back to Africa. They're that wasted out the nut that they think they discovered Africa, even though they were from Africa. Okay, that's the best way for me to break down what actually happened, right? But I love Scotland, and my mum, she always taught me to love where we were from and where we were born, you know, and she loved it too. She, you know, when I was young, she worked 3 jobs. She then became a member of the Commonwealth, where she worked and met for the Princess Diana. She went on to become a civil servant, and you know, she was brilliant, you know, but she did discipline severely. And what I love about her now is that she has asked me to teach her how to speak Scottish slang, right? She loves Scottish slang, and she's also been asking me recently to teach her more about Scottish culture. Now I'm in the house the other day and I'm working on something for live television. She calls me from my room without a care in the world and she's like, Mawani, what there? Come here. Oh. I'm like, Mum, I'm 28-year-old cat, I'm trying, come here! I come from my room. I'm like, what is it, Mum? She's like, I want you to teach me about this, your iron crew. It's very important that I understand this, your iron crew, because I want to go to my work and I want to be able to connect with my colleagues and understand their culture. I was like, Mum, it's not called iron crew, alright? It's called iron crew. And it is not, in fact, an actual Scottish tradition. No, it is not part of the Qyeen. It is, in fact, a carbonated water drink full of sugar, responsible for removing the teeth from billions of Scottish children across the world. Alright? It's not culture at all, but, you know, bless her. Right?
Do it today, do it our way and live it today. Do it today, do it today and do it our way and live it today. Do it today, do it today, do it our way and live it today. Do it today, do it today, do it our way. Too fresh, you know you're in a row. Too fresh, the style is on top. Too fresh, you know you're in the zone, you know you're in the zone, you know you're in the zone.
You know? Yeah, it was brilliant. And the bad thing was, even at this age, you know, African parents feel they can discipline you. Doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter what you look like, they will beat you well if necessary. Okay? But it never used to be like this. There was a time where the main method of discipline in the West Africa, throughout Africa, for children especially, if they didn't do what they were told, which was called stooling down. Do any of you guys know what stooling down is? No, it is not dropping a perfectly formed stool into the lavatory for those of you with filthy minds, okay? Stooling down was the main way in Africa that we would discipline our children. Now, would anybody like to help me, any gentleman like to help me demonstrate the stooling down? It's not difficult at all, and it will not hurt you at all. How about this fine gentleman in the front? Yes, give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Brilliant.
Well done, Dad.
Right, it's very easy. So,
Deal with it.
face this way. Right, perfect, right? Now I'd like you to put one finger on the ground, if you could do that.
You can't bend that far.
Give the boy a break, right? See that? This is a naughty section.
He was a boy 50 years
Brilliant.
ago.
What you do is you raise the opposing leg if you can. Yeah. Right. And you know, oh, that's it. You just stay like that for the rest of the show. That's brilliant. Thank you so much. That is brilliant. You can come up now. That's it. Give them a round of applause. Brilliant. Right.
The future's not bright, and the future's not orange. The future's looking dark, and looking kinda horrid. The future's not bright, and the future's not orange. The future's looking and looking kinda horrid. The future's not bright, and the future's not orange. The future's looking and looking kinda horrid. The future's not bright, and the future's not orange. The future's looking and looking kinda horrid.
I was indeed still in the King's Cross of the station. And at this point in time, there is now about 23 folk gathered around me, okay? And I'm standing there, and I'm looking at Lassie, and I'm like, get what I mean? You're supposed to be a lassie, you're supposed to be a woman, you're supposed to stick up for me. These are mostly all guys, you're supposed to be on my team, right? Talking to all these guys, asking me all these mad questions. No, you're just joining in. Brilliant. Thanks very much, Lassie, right? And this does remind me of something which does upset me about modern society. And this is in regards to my sisters from all ethnicities on the planet, okay? Now, Caucasian men, they've got it right. Men in general, they've got it right, right? I've got a lot of love for them, a lot of respect for the men, right? My white mates, right, guy mates, you know what I mean? Once they've sodomised you, done you in a bit, okay, they're quite happy for you to join the team. You're part of the team. Doesn't matter what you look like. If you pass the test, you're part of the team, right? Now, unfortunately, with a lot of my sisters, it seems to be that much more difficult, you know? And I find this very wrong indeed. Very, very wrong indeed. I have to say to my European sisters particularly, you may not know, as I did not also know, but black women, during the fight for civil rights in America, which was the end of that weird kind of slavery thing that happened, right? They left the fight for civil rights, right? And you know, they weren't being oppressed by their men. They were being oppressed by some men that were oppressing them and their men and you. They left the fight for civil rights, came to the United Kingdom and joined the fight for suffragism, right? For women's rights. They came here, they died for their sisters of various ethnicities, okay? And when I'm studying the history books of the United Kingdom, I cannot find a single page, not a half page, not a quarter page, not even a footnote, okay? That recognises black women.
Exactly.
You know,
in the women's movement.
do you know what I'm saying?
Ridiculous.
It's unbelievable, right? Real stuff, this whole sketch, right? Funny, but you know what I mean, right? And I find this blooming outrageous, right? If it was guys, they'd be like, aye, he's wicked, cool. They'd be like, yeah, Andy, cool. They'd be singing songs and celebrating the contribution, right? But no, nothing at all. So I have to say to my sisters, right, we need to change this. And I understand why my European sisters sometimes, you know, they have it a wee bit hard, right? You know, I get it. You know, I've seen what the men of our fine country, not all of them, by the way, but I've seen what a lot of men are doing now. They call it being the metrosexual, okay? Which means they get all dolled up worse than us, right? Women, we must join together. We must save the world and rid the world, well, maybe not rid them, right, but save the world from these damn metrosexual men. You know, there used to be a time where a woman like myself with a mesomorphic body, piece of flat chested, but anyway, right, could walk down the street in pastel colours with short hair and still be readily identified as a female. Unfortunately now, you damn men, all of you, have even hijacked the colour pink. Okay? This is not cool, right? He's already owned a friend, you've got all the luxury this, luxury that, bloody Monaco, you've got it all. It's not enough for you, but you also want to take the colours that are supposed to be for girls. Now, girls might not even want that colour, because girls are a bit like that, reverse psychology, right? But it's not the point. It was ours. And you are hijacking all of our stuff, right? Women, we must join together against these metrosexual men to create a world where no mascara brush is led with the lid off to left to dry out, right? A world where your blusher pot is replaced, as it should be, inside your makeup bag. Okay? Serious stuff. And that's what I'm looking at the last series. I'm looking at her and thinking, sister, you're not really helping me out here at all.
My boy smoking, listen. Stage 1, the fun and the thrill of the chase. Stage 2, who you be stuck fast like you. Stage 3, and more, the devil's in this beat. Stage 4, you can't have another score. Stage 5, and more, he's looking at real life. Stage 6, and more, my boy needs a fix. Stage 7, with my arms left behind the stage 8, my boy's filling up. Stage 9 and more, he's far from 5. Stage 10 more, he's getting down like the
Now the original dude that started all of this rigmarole off, I can tell that he's just about to try and ask me yet another question. I have to stop him this time. I says, mate, I've been here nearly an hour as it is already, right? I've had enough of your damn questions about my Afro-Scottishness, okay? It's not fair and it's not funny to ask the only African Scottish person in the tune everything about my bloody life. You got my whole bloody life. You got my bloody primary school, my high school. You know everything about me. You care my dad was the name. You know my mum used to work. You care everything about me. And I didn't even ken your first name. Okay? This is not cool and this is not funny. Do I look like I have a sign on my head that says, you know, Afro Scot, subject to interrogation? No, I do not have such a sign on my head. And on that note, you all look like me. We might be different colours and flavours, but we're all the same blooming human beings, okay? Doesn't matter if you're brown, light brown, white, whatever colour it is, we're all human beings, you know? And I had to tell that audience what I shall tell you all tonight, which is Africa!